baseline late in the shot clock. In the first half, you hit Ivan Johnson pretty hard and fell. What did you see on that play?
So what?
The play where you flipped, hit Ivan Johnson in the lane, you drove baseline.
What about it?
Can you describe it? What was it?
It was a blocking foul. It was called blocking foul. I went for a layup. I figured he didn't get over in time, so it was considered a blocking foul.
I know you got off of the last night. Is you all right?
Yeah.
Joe, how do you kind of put in perspective this game? A lot of guys have talked about now, maybe understanding the magnitude of it.
We're ready to play. We all understand, what's at stake. We didn't show up to play. We did a lot of things that were just mentally not their focus. We missed layups. We turned the ball over. We didn't get back in transition. They came like they wanted the game, and we came like, we were already on the road.
Do you attribute some of that? I mean, how much do you put the 4 days off and the 8-game road trip ahead?
I don't think that did anything. At this point in time, we're in the middle of March. You got to understand, every game counts now, and we're preparing for one of the toughest stretches of the season going on this 8-game road trip. And, we could have used this game, taking a little momentum on the road. We didn't show up, and, they came in and did what they were supposed to do.
I was disappointed to give away a game like that. We were leading the fourth quarter, but like you said, it was a trip. Obviously, it's not going to be easy. Is it more disappointing to give away a game in this situation?
It's disappointing to lose a game like this. Especially you got a 2-1 that can come out to a tiebreaker with a team like this. Right. You wasn't playing good, and we were still in the game the whole situation. I think we kind of felt like we can just turn on the switch at any time. And, the ball didn't bounce our way a couple of times in the fourth quarter, and we go from up 2 to down 11. So
right.
Just that quickly. So, we just got to understand and focus that, right now at this time and point in the season, everybody's in playoff mode. Guys are competing and turning this into playoff mode, and we got to be prepared to play every night.
Is focus the biggest reason this team is still inconsistent?
I think so. I think, just the lack of focus, not understanding the importance of games. We play teams that we feel like we should win. We don't come out with the energy on defense and the concentration on offense, and, like silly turnovers and, blown mistakes on defense. You turn it with a game like this.
When you talk about the importance of this game, did first place in the Atlantic Division play a role in that too?
No, I didn't know nothing about that.
You would have been tied if you won.
I didn't know nothing about that. I just knew, this is a team that we could potentially be tied with at the end of the season, or end up having to play in the first round. Even at that, we had a 2-1 advantage on them, and we had a good chance to, take a 3-1 lead and eliminate all tiebreakers. So.
Some guys who haven't been playoff experience on this team and haven't necessarily been in situations like this before. Is that something that plays into troubles with focus? Troubles with
I think so. I think so. If you've never been in the playoffs, you don't really know what the experience is. I spent 3 years watching with Sacramento, and even when I made it with Charlotte, the experience was just overwhelming. So you've never been, you don't know what to anticipate, you don't know how much important these games are and what they mean, especially for your seeding in the playoff game. So it has a little bit to do with it, but at the same time, we got to understand we are a playoff team, and guys got to be mentally focused for that.
Is there a way to speed that process up, or is it just a matter of going through it? I assume it's just going through it. But
I think you just got to go through it. I don't really know how much more you can have.
On a personal level, what do you need to do to get to where you want to be going into the playoffs? To sort of like raise your game, or what do you need to?
I don't know. Make a shot, probably layup or something. Any fucking thing. It's just throw trash in the trash can. Anything. See anything go in for me. It's pretty much.
Thanks, Joe.
Got away from you.
I'm very frustrated. It's almost as if, we didn't know the significance of this game. Regardless of who's playing however many minutes. We got to get a win. Now we got to go on the road for 6-7 games. You can't leave here without a win.
Why do you think that didn't happen?
We was in position to win. We gave ourselves a chance just to started that fourth quarter, and they took the momentum, and we could never get it back.
Joe, with that in mind, do you expect the sense of urgency to pick up now as you head out on this 8-game road trip?
I don't know. Hopefully. I can't say that.
We've been talking a lot about defensively what's been going on. Do you feel like there's issues more effort-wise? Would you say it's actually executing the schemes, or do you kind of pinpoint what some of the biggest issues are?
Well, tonight we ran into a tough Hawks team. You know, the way their big guys push the ball, handle the ball, and make plays. I mean, it was a point in time in the fourth quarter, they run pick and roll with Al and Josh. So we never went over that. So we didn't really know how to cover it, and it hurt us.
How conscious are you of the standings, knowing that if you'd won this game, you would have gone to a virtual tie for first?
I'm very conscious of it. You know, that's why it hurts so bad. You know, we position ourselves to move up in the standings and, you know, do something special, man. And we blew it tonight, the way we play here. So.
Thank you.
Still trying to figure that out. You know, they killed us in the pick and roll. You know, Teague was just making a lot of things happen in the fourth quarter, especially late. They hit a lot of shots and made plays down the stretch.
Was considering 4 days off going into this big road trip, was this missed opportunity?
Definitely, you know, definitely. This was a huge game for us, and you know, they played like it was, and we really didn't. You know, it's a big missed opportunity, especially with the Knicks losing today.
What are you expecting out of the guys tomorrow in Detroit?
Hopefully we just bounce back, you know. I mean, that's all we can do, you know, is bounce back and play better than tonight, and you know, get a win and get some confidence going.
What would tie for first in the Atlantic have meant to you? You mentioned it since the Knicks lost.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been good. It would have been a good step. Like I said, a good confidence builder, you know, to get us going through this road trip.
You mentioned that pick and roll was not there in the fourth quarter. Was it them executing really well? Was it you guys not understanding the schemes?
It's a little bit of both, you know. I mean, you definitely can't take anything away from them. You know, they came out and played well tonight. You know, and so, you know, it was a little bit of us not being able to stop them, but that's part of good offense as well.
Going into hostile environments every night, you know, for the next 2 weeks, I mean, how much do you expect to find out about this team over the course of that trip?
Hopefully a lot. You know, I think like we've been talking about this road trip for a while now, and you know, this is a big stretch for us. You know, to see what we're made of, to see how tough we are mentally, physically. You know, because 2 weeks is a long time to get away from, you know, be away from home and be away from here. And so, you know, hopefully my guys' minds don't wander and we stay focused on basketball and getting wins, because this is, like I said, it's a tough stretch.
I know you, so what, like, you're concerned about your health, but when you hit your head, did something happen there?
Gerald said the focus is one of the issues for this team. Do you think that's the biggest issue, or something else you guys need to work through?
I don't know what it is. You know, I've been trying to figure that out all year. You know, it's just been really inconsistent, game to game. You know, during games. You know, when we sub, at times it takes us a while to get going again, and it seems like we can be up a couple baskets and we sub, and then you know the team goes on a 7-0 run real quick, and you know those things you gotta try to avoid. You know, coming down the stretch like this and against good teams like we played tonight.
How do you avoid that lull when the team comes in, when a different group gets in there?
I'm still trying to figure it out.
So is it on players on the bench to somehow get more ready?
It's on everybody to be ready. It's on everybody to be ready. I mean, that's part of the game is being ready. You know, when your numbers call. So I mean, it's not like I said. I'm not calling anybody out. It happens with the I've talked about. It happens with the other game where the second group's playing well, and then we get back in, and it's been like that all season. You know, and we just got to be ready to get going.
How do you kind of put in perspective this loss?
It was huge. It was a huge win at home. Real tough loss. Kind of broke down in the fourth quarter. It definitely hurt. It definitely hurt.
You mentioned the fourth quarter. What do you feel like happened there? Why were they able to
Just going ready, like, as if the energy, you know what I'm saying, like the fire. You know what I'm saying, the sense of urgency, you know, like, oh yeah, this is a big time game, you know what I'm saying, just no any game, you know, so it's just that passion.
You did talk a lot about defensively. It felt like the effort wasn't there defensively. defensively. How much do you put that on yourselves, and what did you feel like Atlanta was able to do to you guys, and kind of how do you break down what they were doing offensively?
They did a good job. You know, Josh hit some key shots and stuff like that, and you know, T, you know, did a good job just penetration and getting them good shots and stuff like that. So the defense was a part of it, but you know, they playing good defense also too to stop us. You know, so it's a combination of the offensive and defensive end.
Is it hard to shake something like this? I mean, road trip is hard anyway, going away from this long. Now you're going.
When you look at it, the positive thing about it is just knowing that it's the NBA. You got so many games, so you go win the next one, then you forget all about this one. You know, but you know, just make the fight longer. You know what I'm saying? You think about it even more, and that we should have won the game.
Right, from how close you guys are in the stands, 3, 4, 5, do you look at the Sacred road trip with a little bit more urgency?
No, I don't really pay no attention to the standing. I just know the fact that Atlanta is, we kind of neck to neck, and just knowing that we was up 2-1, and we just needed this game real bad. So we just knowing that they're a playoff team, we just needed this game real bad. But it don't matter who we playing. We know every game gonna be just huge from here on out for us. A lot of teams in the NBA.
What are you looking for on the road trip, particularly as you start out in Detroit?
A win. Start out with a win. That's it.
But, I mean, how do you this is an extraordinarily long road trip. Is there a particular approach to this?
Just take it one game at a time. The positive side is that, we get to go to some good weather. The negative side is that we just been away from our family for so long. So it's part of what we do. You know what I'm saying? This is our dream, playing the NBA, so this is part of it. So we got to do what we got to do. Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
After it being such a tight game and late changes throughout those first 3 quarters, what did you see happening there in the fourth that allowed the Hawks to open it up so much?
Well, we didn't defend. I didn't think we defended for most of the game. Early on, I was thinking maybe it was the layoff, the 4 days. We were a little bit rusty, but that's pretty much the way we played. But we got ourselves a lead in the first quarter, and we let it get away in the second. We got ourselves a lead in the third quarter, and let it get away in the fourth. We didn't defend Al or Josh very well in the second half. But we didn't make shots in the paint the whole night. We're 19 for 44 in the paint, and they're 28 for 41. You have to finish. We turned the ball over. Our defense was very poor. I mean, they shot over 50%. Too many times they just put the ball on the floor and bias, and our help wasn't there. They played as if the game meant a lot more to them than they understood how important the game was.
Also 10 fast break points, I think, there in the fourth quarter. At times we've talked about that in transition defensively with your guys. Do you think it's a matter of effort? Do you think it's communication getting back? Where do you think some of the things fall apart in transition?
I think some of them were off turnovers. They had some breakaways off turnovers, particularly early in the fourth quarter. We had a couple of really poor passes, and they just had breakaways. We had numbers where we couldn't get back. There were other times in the game when I thought our transition wasn't really good, but turnovers caused a bunch of them. And again, some of it was our bigs not finishing, some of it was our smalls. If a small goes to the rim and doesn't finish, your backcourt's exposed. We did that a number of times tonight also. So points in the paint was really a problem, but I just thought in general, one sense I have to give us credit because we still had I think we had a 2-point lead after the third quarter, so we hung around. For a lot of the game, I was trying to figure out how we were hanging around because we weren't defending very well. I didn't think we were shooting very well inside. We were having difficulty finishing. But in the fourth quarter, it all caught up with us.
PJ, considering this game comes off 4 days off, and then you have this long road trip coming up, is this a game you kind of missed opportunity, you get away?
Yeah, I mean, some you could say that, but it's just this is what we are. You are what you are. This is what we did. That would imply that we're, because we had a better record, because we had won 2 out of the 3 against them, that we should win this. Now we've played them 4 times and they've beaten us twice. We've beaten them twice. It was a game that we had an opportunity to step up and establish what we are. And this is what we are. We have to work. We got to work harder. We're not, you know, we weren't able to meet the challenge tonight. So we have to work harder. We got to play a lot better, and the challenges aren't going to get easier, you know, away from home. But it was. I do think early on there was a little bit of rust, but we got ourselves through that, and we got ourselves back in, more than back in the game. We got ourselves a lead, and just were not able to respond. We had, you know, too many of us didn't do a good job tonight. Particularly in a game like this, and games like we're going to play. When you come into the game, you got to be ready to do something. You don't have to come in and score 14 points and get 8 rebounds, but you can't come in and get beat on defense and turn the ball over. So, you know, it's a lot of us need to do a better job than we did tonight.
Coach, it looked like you were over here. Playing a lot through isolations in the post. Were those matchups that you were looking for going into the game, and can you maybe talk a little about your offensive rhythm, what you thought kind of throughout the game?
That's the way we normally play.
Great, okay.
No, I mean, we go to Joe, we go to Deron, we go to Brooke. You know, we had other guys, again, I don't think it was the quality of our shots. Early in the second half, I thought we settled for some jump shots. We fell in love with some jump shots, but for most part, we had shots in the paint, and we had guys, you know, we had layups, or we had people going to the rim, and you know, we didn't do a good job of finishing. I'm sure Atlanta's defense had something to do with that also, but we just didn't. We played, I don't know if it's a word, lethargically for most of the game. We had a couple of runs where it looked like we were getting it going and getting into a quicker pace, but then we would settle right back down again. You know, the game was kind of a flat. And them also, for a lot of the game, that was just the way the game went. We'd get a couple, they'd get a couple, and it was like it appeared neither one was going to get away from the other. But when they spurted early in the fourth, we weren't able to answer.
Coach, all that in mind, what are you looking for out of the guys tomorrow in Detroit to get the trip started?
Significantly better defensive effort, and you know, a win, opportunity to win a game. I mean, we need to play a lot better. You can pick almost any aspect you want. I mean, you could say we rebounded, or, you know, we got 17 offensive rebounds, but, you know, there were a couple things we did well, but in general, we didn't. Our execution wasn't real good. Our screening wasn't really good. Defense was the biggest thing. I mean, we never were able to get a hold defensively. I thought Reggie did an exceptional job on Josh in the first half. I thought he really did an excellent job. But we didn't do a good job on Al or Josh in the second half. We didn't do a good job on Kyle early. Kyle got some good looks on us early. When they made 2 threes with the clock running out in the first half. But they played better than we did on both ends of the floor, I thought.
Okay, thank you.